All right. Today I decided to wear this super pink lip. I just got this in a boxy charm. Yeah, the video should already be up, so I have it linked down below if you want to see how I got this entire look. It was very vibrant this month. They sent a lot of things with color, which this pink lip, definitely wouldn't wear this going out or anything like that. So I just thought I'd wear it to film. But today, if you can't tell by the title, we are deep diving into the best drugstore makeup of 2020. I didn't do one of these last year because I really started to commit to my YouTube channel in January of this year. And so I'm so excited to go over all the products that I've really found this year and loved that are drugstore and budget friendly and have a great formula. Because I really do feel like you can, makeup is at any budget, and these products I'm going to share with you right now have been the tried and true for this year. So if you're interested to see exactly what those products are, then go ahead and keep on watching.
Christmas lights are all around. I can see them now.
Before we get started, subscribe, push the like button, and leave a comment down below, tell me where you're from. I figured we just go in order from primer to all of that. And so we'll just start with my primer, and that is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer, Dew Primer. This, I believe, is only available right now on their website. It's about $9.99, and it has blown me away this year. It has the most jelly-like consistency, really cooling, really hydrating, really soothing. In fact, I got this because I feel like, where did it go? But it's an exact dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I'm looking everywhere for it and it's right in front of me. So the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, I feel like it's an exact dupe. It has that same tackiness, the way that it kind of sets down, the way that it grips your foundation. Same kind of exact formula, except this one does not have a scent, which I appreciate that. This one does have a very light watermelon scent, so if you're sensitive to scents or fragrance in your product, be aware of that. But this has just been my favorite for this year. It's great for dry skin, and it just really offers, like, what I said, those soothing properties on a budget. I feel like with dry skin, a lot of the time cream primers don't work as well for me as a formula like this, or an oil. Oils work great. Okay, so the next product is foundation, which is, it's an amazing thing. I love the foundation group. In fact, it's what I test out majority of the time on my channel. And this is the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Foundation SPF 50. This was my go-to this last summer. The reason why is because it's really lightweight. It has a very, when you apply it, it's a very thin layer. I feel like it doesn't settle too far into fine lines. I'm actually wearing it today, and I just feel like, ooh, the finish, that soft matte finish is where it's at for me, especially because I have dry skin, but I like that matte finish. I can't have something too, what's it called? Too oil sucking. I need something that's going to keep all of my hydration in, but also leave a nice, thin, matte finish, and that's exactly what this is. I love that it has SPF, and so during the summer this was great because I would wear an SPF under it, but just having that extra protection on top of that just was even more amazing. Another thing I like about it is the packaging. It's just a plastic packaging, but just to have like this little squeezy tube. This applies well with a brush or a beauty blender. You can use either or. I think today I used a brush, then I patted over with a beauty blender, so I kind of used both. But this is a great option. The one thing that you do need to watch out for is if you are sensitive to denatured alcohol, which can be very sensitizing to your skin, that is higher up in the ingredient list for this. So keep that in mind. Can you believe this is my second time filming this video? I filmed it the other day. I just wasn't feeling myself. Like, my hair was so flat. The makeup look I did, I was not vibing with. I keep trying to do these no foundation makeup looks, and at the end of the day, I'm like, why did I try to do that? Because I'm obsessed with foundation. But it was a good thing to try. Actually, I will have that video up, but I had to refilm it because I have my hair crimped how I like it. I feel more myself, and with that, it's just better caught on camera. All right, so the next section is concealer. So I have a couple because I have one that's medium coverage, then I have one that is full coverage. So my favorite lightweight medium coverage concealer has been the Revlon Candid Concealer. My shade is the shade light medium. I really like this because the packaging is different, right? It's like kind of in a squeezy tube, like not something you see before. It has a great doe foot applicator. It's really easy to blend out. Just something if you're looking for a natural looking concealer, nothing that's too heavy. This has been amazing. Now, if you're looking for something more full coverage to really kind of clean up or maybe even like lighten things up, something that's kind of like Tarte Shape Tape coverage, full coverage, my recommendation is a L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. This is an amazing formula. It's hands down, I think it's even better than the Tarte Shape Tape. I gravitate toward this way more than I do that other concealer. And the doe foot applicator is massive, as well as the amount of product you're getting is massive. With that as well, I feel like this product does not crease. If you have dark circles, this is going to definitely cover those up, really highlight those areas that you want highlighted, or, you know, just soften the things that you need softened for your complexion. So by far, these are the standout concealers of 2020. Now we're gonna talk about setting powder. So this one is Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. Oh my gosh, for the price, I think this is only $4. This has been amazing for my dry skin. Now, I still like to set down my concealer 100%. I don't want it to crease, I want it to stay where it's at. And this just applies ever so lightly, the thinnest layer, without sucking all the moisture out of my skin. I have different colors. I have the translucent shade. I've had this the entire year and I use it multiple times a week, and I still have so much product left. The sifter in this is great. You're never just like sitting here shaking forever just trying to get product out. It just works really, really well. So I was really impressed with this. And then for a pressed powder, I don't have any one specific one, but one that's been a game changer for me is this Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. Yes, my packaging broke, but it's only like $4, so I can't complain there. This has been great to really lighten up my under eye area, to bring this jaw part back to life. I just take some of that on there and do any kind of cleanup. If you ever feel like you went too heavy somewhere, this is where it's at. It can be a little powdery, but nothing that I would complain about, because it just re-livens things back up. So I've been really impressed with that. Let's talk about bronzer. I recently did a bronzer tag. If you want to check it out, I basically go over all my bronzers, like most expensive, least expensive, worth the hype, not worth the hype, my favorite, everyday bronzer, yada yada yada. The list goes on and on. But I think this is the Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 200, has been my most reach for a drugstore bronzer this year. I went hard on this over the summer, along with a couple other bronzers, but this one I reached for so much. I feel like it's the perfect shade if you're wanting to just use it to lightly contour, if you're just wanting like that sun-kissed look without leaning too much on the warm tone. There are some bronzers that I have that lean too much on the warm tone. I have my Hourglass, which is such a beautiful sun-kissed bronzer, but it's warm. And so to kind of combat that, bring it down, I'll use this because it's matte. It does have a little bit of kickback, but it's nothing that bothered. And I'm actually someone who doesn't use, I don't use a lot of eyeshadow. I haven't found a drugstore eyeshadow that I'm crazy about yet. There are a couple options that some of you have recommended to me that I want to try out, but this year hasn't been the year for that. So what I usually do is I take my bronzer and my blush and I put that in my crease. And so this has been a great crease shade to just make my makeup look very cohesive. I have things falling everywhere. The next product is blush, and this one was very easy to decide. This is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in Pink Rose. This formula is top notch. I actually compare this a lot to some of my higher end blushes because the payoff is great. It's not too strong, it's not too light, it's easy to blend, it's subtle. It's just a great blush, and the packaging for this is really cute, little and compact, but it's not super cheap. Like most of my drugstore products, like I said, like some of them will break. This one I haven't had a problem with at all. They have other shades, things like that. I think it's only about $5 or $6, and so it's definitely a good one. This I also would put in my crease, and I honestly, the combination of it all really was so good to me this year. Highlight. So it's so great that we're at a time now where you can find an awesome drugstore highlight just at Walgreens, at Walmart, anywhere that you go shopping that you can find these things. This one I was so shocked with, and this is the Revlon Skin Lights in the shade Twilight Gleam. First off, when I ordered this off of Amazon, I was like, oh, it's a little expensive. I think it was like $8 or $9. But when I got it, I saw this cool texture on it, and so I just automatically thought that it was going to be a thicker, chunkier highlight. I was so wrong. This has been so impressive to me. It's just like the most subtle sheen. It does have glitters in it, but they're finely milled, and it's just such a great highlight. So Revlon really knocked it out of the park. They do also have another shade that I don't know about. Another one that's always like such a good option is a Wet n Wild highlight, but this one was the one that really surprised me this year, and one that I reach for over all of my high-end highlights. Except I just bought a new highlight. It's the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt in Girl Next Door and Chic freak, and it's been good to me. All right, we're reaching the end here. Brows. Whew, this was a year for brows for me, where I was honestly a true believer that there was not a good, affordable drugstore brow product out there for me. And boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong, because this is probably my 6th one of these. This is the Total Temptation by Maybelline Brow Definer, and I'm in the shade medium brown. This has just been my go-to this year. It's so easy to fill my brows. It doesn't have like that super fine tip, and I kind of like that because you're able to just really light them, fill them in where you're needing those areas. And then I go in with a setting gel, and that's how I fluff up the individual hairs of my brows. But this has been so good. I compare this a lot to the Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil, but it's for a fraction of the cost. You can get this for like $6, while this one is like $20. So, I mean, this one is, even if you're on the fence, it's worth a try. But this year, I got rid of my eyelash extensions. I don't even remember, was it January? I don't even know. I stopped getting them done. Just because going in there, getting them done, and honestly, I wanted to experiment more with mascara. 100%. At the time, I hadn't had my LASIK eye surgery, and so I had really sensitive eyes, so if I wore contacts to do my makeup, my eyes would get irritated, and so I'd have to be really picky with my mascara. Finally got my LASIK eye surgery done, which, by the way, was absolutely game-changing, and so now I've been able to really try all these mascaras, and this one by far has been my most used, and this is the L'Oreal Double Extend. This is a tube-like mascara, so you go in on one side with this, just like this awesome primer, and it really fluffs, gives them a lot of volume, gives them that coat, lifts, and then you go in with the other side, which, you know, gives them all the color, and it has been great. What I like about this is it doesn't flake because it's not that kind of formula. It's a long lasting, it doesn't irritate eyes. You're not gonna get, you know, a little flake in your eye throughout the day. At night, when you wash this off, they all come off in clumps together, and you don't have raccoon eyes after. So this has by far been my most impressive mascara, and I definitely think you should try it out. Does it elongate your lashes a lot? No, but it does a lot for volume. So I imagine you can mix this with something else and get a really cool combination. Last but not least, I'm gonna call this a drugstore product because it's a drugstore price and you can go and pick it up at Ulta. It is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. Guys, I don't care what setting mist you have out there. This one takes the cake. It is so good. It really does melt all your powders together. Just gives you a really nice experience. It's hydrating, but it doesn't make you greasy at all. I know a lot of people, they're just like, oh my gosh, that dewy setting spray made me so greasy. This one I feel like totally does not. It's a good refresher. The price, I think with a coupon at Ulta, which they always have going on, you can get this for about $10 for the amount you're getting. The scent, it is a little bit scented, but it's not so overwhelming. And this has been, it's been so good. So if you're on a budget, but looking for a spray that's gonna last you for months and months, it might even, I think it'll actually last you the whole year. This definitely pick this up, hands down. Just so hydrating. Now, I don't have any of my favorite drugstore lip products on me, but I will tell you a few. I love the L'Oreal lipstick Embarrassed Nude, or Fairest Nude, not Embarrassed Nude, Fairest Nude. And then also the Maybelline Baddest Beige. They're both great nude lipsticks that feel very high quality. They're long lasting and they're just easy to put on when you're on the go. Both of mine are in my car somewhere, so I'll just have those linked down below. But if you're interested to see how I got this look, I'll have everything linked down below as well. Tell me your favorite drugstore products of 2020. I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Christmas lights are all around. I can see them now. It's like they spell your name.